Howdy everyone, this is LockNutz, and you're watching a map tour of Wild River Forest by Carl TG and Pixel Farms. Hopefully you'll stick around to see what happens. Howdy, 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 how are you guys doing today? Oh my goodness, I tell you what, today we get to go on a map tour of Wild River Forest by Carl TG and Pixel Farms. This little bad mamma jamma is 220.59 megabytes to download and is very cross-platform friendly. Now, we've gone ahead and started this gameplay off on New Farmers Mode. That way you know what you'd get if you do start off on New Farmers Mode. So, without further ado, guys, let's jump right in and take a look at that equipment. And here is your equipment, starting off with medium tractors. You got one Massey Ferguson, gotta love that. Large tractors, you have just a couple. You have not one, but two John Deeres. You have a New Holland and a Fendt. Nice fleet of stuff you got right there. Harvesters, you got one John Deere X9, pretty darn cool. And that does come with a grain header, and you betcha you need a header trailer to pull that thing around, so there's one for you. Telehandlers, you got a JCB, gotta love that, and it does come with two different heads, a universal bucket and a pallet fork. Vehicles-wise, you see me driving around on it. You have a pickup truck. Trailers, you start off with one crampy big body 750S, not too shabby. Stone pickers, you have an ELO or an LO, not too bad. Subsoiler, you start off with a Culti-Plow Platinum 8-meter. Gotta love that thing. Seeders, you got yourself a Kuhn seeder. Sprayers, you got a Hardy sprayer, the Mega 1200 liter, and it does come with the Mega 1200 liter tank, so that's pretty darn slick. Weeders, you have my favorite, the Pneumatistar, or as I like to call it, the Sweeter, because it can go ahead and weed and plant a couple things as well with grass, OSR, and canola. Not too shabby, and that is what you get yourself when you start off in New Farmers Mode. Now that we've taken a look at that equipment, let's go ahead and look at the map. And here is your map, and as you can see, you have quite a bit of fields on here, but mainly you see a lot of green, lots of forest, lots of trees. The map, once we get out there and start looking at it, really is going to look like a nice little farming community that was cut right out of the forest. Pretty cool. As the name suggests, Wild River, there's your river, and then a bunch of forest throughout. Now, this is where your main farm is actually set up on here on the New Farmer Mode is what you start off with. We'll take a look at what land you start off with in just one second here. But then you have the house off to the side. This is actually where your truck was parked, which is why you guys see me driving over to the farm. So it is a little bit separated there. Pretty darn neat, though, as you go about looking at it. You have a couple production facilities on here, and you do have a rent-a-train, and the train takes your goods to Silver Run Forest. A little preemptive. Pretty darn neat. One thing that's going to be really, really kind of odd about this map, and there's probably going to end up being an update on here. You see, you do start off with this plot of land right here, okay? $3,852. Oh, well, it's just a fluke. Well, let's go up here and take a look at the most expensive plot of land on the entire map. It is this whole area right up here. $26,691. The cheapest on the other side, I think it's Field 24 right there. Field 24, $352. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess there'll probably be an update at some point changing that around. But for the time being, if you want to get on here and get yourself some nice plots at a decent price, go for it. And as you can see, all the plots on here, you have a couple where you have fields are grouped together, but for the most part, everything is pretty darn separate. You can purchase the river if you want to. You can purchase this plot of land with the lake. But there are a couple spots in here that you just cannot purchase. It is what it is. Forest areas, you have a couple spots that are a little bit more expensive than the others, coming in at $5,000 and $7,000. But for the most part, you should be able to get out here and buy whatever you want, get wherever you want, and go do whatever it is that you need to do. Like I said, I'd keep your eyes peeled. There may be an update on that. It's either that or the map maker just wanted to make this for us to run wild and buy whatever the heck we want. Either way, guys, this is pretty darn neat the way this is all set up. Now that you've taken a look at the map, let's head on down and take a look at it from the ground. All right, guys, so this is the main farm that you do start off with here. Now, on all the modes that you start off on, you do start off with all of the equipment. That's just something that you get no matter what mode you start off on, so it does not matter. But you don't own the land over here. That's one thing to keep your mind on when you move forward with this. The sheds, they only appear on new farmer mode. If they're not on new farmer mode, these sheds do not exist. And speaking of the sheds actually are custom to this map. So you can come on here underneath buildings, and they're way at the back here. You have this one shed right here, and you have this one shed right here. We'll get a better peek at them in just a second here, scrolling on in. And okay, I didn't think I wanted to just check that out right there. Okay, perfect. So you do have the options for these two sheds, which they're already placed on here. This one here is the one that's 54,000, a little bit bigger, a little bit more, I don't know, in your face. It's nice and big, lots of storage in this one. And then you have the other one over there. So you got that going for you. The silo is not here, just as a reminder, that's not here on any of the other modes. But this is your yard. It definitely gives you that room for expansion. You have the ability to go ahead and move on and do some of the cool little neat things that you'd like to go about doing here. One thing I'm going to do here before we jump in our vehicle and get ourselves going is I'm going to turn the map on the corner of the screen. That way you guys can kind of follow along with me as we're traveling around here. Now, like I said when we're looking at the map, this map definitely has the feel of you are driving around on land that was once forest. You see your vehicles are already all out there. As you can kind of see right there, you have the tall trees up there. You have the smaller trees where they've been kind of cut away. It really, like I said, it gives you that vibe that we're in the land that was trees. It was forest at some point. But now it's been stripped away, and this is what's left. Some of it's being regrown, others are not. So kind of keep that in mind. One thing I am going to let you guys know is I do like to drive across the fields. That way you guys can kind of get a feel for what's actually going on the map here with the fields. This map, pretty much all the locations where your fields are located, or all the fields are located, I should say, they're flat land. It is what it is. It's flat land. The forestry areas, though, not so much. So right over here, you do have your shop, and this actually is where you can go ahead when you purchase stuff. It pops up over here, and then if you go ahead and hit the old respawn or restart, your vehicles will respawn over here. So that is something to keep your mind open for. As you can see, we do actually have some traffic on here. The traffic's not bad. It's coming at you fast, but it really isn't all that bad. It's not super sporadic and super speedy. But I do want to head over here to this large forestry plot right off the bat, because this is going to be pretty much what you're going to run into. There are spots that are thicker than others, but for the most part, this is what you're looking at. You're looking at tall trees with small trees in between. Now, I have this smaller truck, and I'm kind of doing my best to pay attention to what I'm doing. But for the most part, guys, you're probably not going to get your semi back here. You're not going to get a big lowboy trailer out here. It's just not going to happen. You're going to have to cut a path in order to get over here and haul this stuff out. So that's going to be one thing to keep in mind when you're moving forward. Another thing, neat little feature about this map is it has some of the Oxygen David sound effects. So some of these noises are a little bit familiar. That's probably where you've heard them before. Pretty darn neat. This large area here for doing forestry. I don't want to smash anything up. It is pretty darn cool the way it's all set up and ready to rock here. Let's get out of this because I want to show you some more of the fields here real quick. Oh my gosh. All right, so we are on a highway right here. This is going to be one of your areas that if you have to get from point A to point B, mainly to get over to field 50 to do contracts or anything like that, you're going to have to watch what you're doing, because it may be kind of a pain in the butt getting across here. This is one of the few pinch points that are kind of on the map here, just getting across here. But it's like any other divided highway like that. Once you get across, you're good to go. So here is your biggest field that is available on the map. Like I said, it's not very much. It's $26,000. So if you want it, you can have it. Myself personally, with the sugar beets out here, I'm burning the field. I can't do that many sugar beets. I don't have that type of stamina. I am weak, and I will admit it. But with that being said, if you do decide to get plot 50, you do have this nice little forestry area. I really like how, watch out so I don't smash off the map here. I really do like how bumpy and lumpy the forestry areas are. They're not flat. Kind of use this as an example or an idea. Like I was saying, how the fields that are out there, it feels like you're driving around cleared forestry areas. That's kind of what I'm seeing out here. You take a look at this. These are the areas where it's bumpy, it's lumpy. It's not going to be as suitable for doing agricultural farming or anything like that. This is better for where the trees are. So the trees are just still kind of hanging out, doing their thing. It is kind of a neat landscape that they have over here in the woods on this map. Let's keep on rocking around this so we can get out, and we'll take a look at other things as we keep on rocking and rolling. Now, as for, I guess, prairie-type land where... Ooh, boy, am I going to be able to get across here? Nope, I got to turn back around. I had to turn back around. Okay, that's my fault. Now, as for, like, prairie-type land where there's no trees or anything like that, you can just get out and do what you want. Plow your own fields, make your own fields, that sort of thing. There's not a ton of space on this map for that. There is some, like this plot... Oh, shoot. I missed. Like this plot right over here. This is a good example of this sort of area. It's not going to be very, very large, but if you want to go ahead and get yourself out here to rock and roll, start your own thing, nice little spot. Essentially, the way I'm looking at it is that because of the way the map is set up, with all the forestry areas and the handful of little tiny grassy areas, there really are countless starting locations. Like this little area right here. Nice little spot. You can probably throw something up if you really want to. All in all, it feels warm and it feels inviting. Before we get off of that, I do want to kind of head over... Alright, we're going to take around this way. Go around the backside of all this. I want to head over to where your house is, because again, it's a neat little community that's sitting over there. Or at least it makes it feel like it's a neat little community. Quickly get over there. One thing to point out here, there are 40 collectibles on this map. I personally have not found any of them. That doesn't mean they're not there. It just means that I'm not very good at looking for them. So keep that in mind. Let's head on over here. You know what? Let's actually take the road. Let's actually take the road here. Because this... See, now that... To me, that just screams like... That's forest. It's been cut down here, and this is just kind of starting to come back. But that's what it feels like. Alright, let's keep rocking. Sorry about that. I got distracted. Alright, so get across the rails there quickly. A little bumpy, as it should be. And right over here off to the right-hand side, that's actually your house. Let's get around this. There we go. Nice little bus stop sitting right over there. You have a couple buildings that are starting to be built. You have a couple sell points over there. Pretty darn slick, but then we come over to your house and look at that. Nice lakefront property. You even have a boat. Oh my gosh, you can't make this stuff up. Let's keep on going. Alright, so let's get on over here. There's one other little area I want to kind of show you. You take a look at these areas right here. This is kind of how it is back over by the houses, and once you get off the main area, you do have these thin roads that are over here, but you don't have to worry. If you're farming over in this area or doing whatever it is that you want to do, you don't have to worry because there is no traffic coming out over here. Essentially, it's kind of like an abandoned or a semi-abandoned gravel road to get back to an old camping or old logging encampment that's been kind of abandoned and kind of forgotten about. So you don't really have to worry about traffic over here at all, or any of these really tiny roads. Let's hop in there, shut that off. So as you can see, like I said, you do have like this nice little area back here. If you do want to start off a little logging adventure or something, you do have this broken down old barn. It almost looks like it's halfway sunk into the ground. Don't know if that's just me or what. I'm seeing things. But guys, I think at this point it's time we get up in the air and we take a look at this from above, because really we can keep driving around on the map, but I don't think we're really going to feel what it's like until we get up in the sky. So hang tight and let's go flying. All right, and here we go up into the sky. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Oh man, what a view. What a view. I slow that down just a little bit. Look at this view. I really do like this. This is definitely, like I said, once you get up here, you can really see what I was talking about, where you have the woods, and this is just cut right out of the woods. Almost if you were to be on just a map that is all trees all the time. Someone's come in, someone's played on that map, someone's cut these fields out of nowhere, and here they are. That's what this map feels like. It has just this wonderful vibe of a community that's thriving out in the middle of, I don't want to say nowhere, because that's not quite right, but out in the middle of some place, like a frontier where somebody came and cut down that first tree, and now look at it, many years down the road. It's just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful setting that is here. You do have your animal dealership, so if you do want to... Sorry about that. Like I was saying, there is the animal dealership over there, so if you want to go ahead and get some animals, you can. Couple of these nice, large grain facilities to go ahead and sell your stuff at. It really is cool. Along with the train, the winding river, the paths all over the place. Like I said, guys, this really just feels like it's a beautiful map cut out of the middle of nowhere. Let me know. Comment down below. What do you guys want to jump on first on this map? Do you want to get over here, start tackling all this, buy the whole forest for $10, or do you want to hop out here and buy some fields and start rock and rolling that way? Comment down below. Let me know, where do you want to start on this map? There's so many different places. It's absolutely amazing. And if you guys are liking what you're hearing, liking what you're seeing, go ahead and smash that like button. Hit the subscription. It helps the channel out a ton, you betcha. Go ahead and hit the notification bell. Have it turned on and set to all. That way you know when this and other great videos are coming out by myself. Guys, go ahead and share this with somebody who lives in the woods. Or maybe they've seen a tree. Share this with somebody who's seen a tree. That's a great idea. Oh, man. I tell you what, guys, I can't wait to get on this one. I actually feel really excited about this one. Let me know if you're excited too. Maybe I'll see you out here. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But until I do, thanks for stopping by.